Chapter 7. El Ahuate, My Neighborhood, 1975. The Aztec Calendar, a perfect summary of science, philosophy, art, and religion. Samuel Ann Ear. I was about 10. It was a summer afternoon, hot and humid in my neighborhood. El Ahuate street was paved with mismatched cobblestones and lots of muddy holes. It was always entertaining watching stray dogs running to and fro. Sometimes there was a pack of them chasing a female dog, snarling at each other. If a dog was fast enough to get on top of the female dog, the others were quick to bite that dog and get it off the precious female. Other times, there were dog fights, or frequently and randomly, dogs would be biting people.
"I'll take it easy on you, Elio,"
said El Perro, the neighborhood bully.
"Come on, these gloves will fit you."
"I don't know. My grandma said not to be playing boxing with you guys," I said. "Besides, these gloves don't fit me."
"It's okay. I won't tell if you don't tell. You have to learn how to fight. Boxing is a great sport,"
said El Perro, smiling machiavellically.
"Look, my gloves are not my size either."
El Perro was a tough kid who was always either bullying others or getting into fights with kids who dared to stand up to him. Because we were distant cousins, he sort of took it easy on me. El Perro's dad had a boxing gym in our rundown neighborhood. The problem was, anybody who wanted to learn boxing had to fight one of the experienced fighters at the gym, which was one of the reasons my grandma didn't want me to learn boxing. Not the expense of serving as a punching bag for any of those bullies, as she used to say.
"Ouch! Don't hit me that hard, Perro, please,"
I said after El Perro landed a stiff jab right in my nose.
"Yeah, sorry. Tuck your chin and bring up your guard,"
said El Perro, making it look as if he was coaching me.
"Bob and weave. Be a moving target."
He kept on coaching me while landing hooks to my body and head with an occasional uppercut. This boxing training lesson looked more or less like when a cat's playing with an injured bird. While I was trying to be a moving target, I looked more like a moving punching bag. That first boxing lesson was the first beating I took. However, I had to learn how to fight. Kids around here were always picking fights with each other, and I was tired of being picked on. When I got home, my grandpa Indo must have thought, "Oh my God, they beat him again." He sat down with me and started with one of his stories, as a way of distracting me from feeling sorry for myself.
"You know why the Mayans lasted so long as one of the greatest civilizations known to man, mijo?"
asked Grandpa. "Why, Grandpa?" I asked, bracing myself for one of his long-winded stories about how great our ancestors were. Right now, I just wanted to lick my wounds and chill. So, what the hell? I thought. How about them Mayans, Grandpa? Freeze the story. Grandpa Indo wasn't even born yet when he lost his dad in the Mexican Revolution. Grandpa knew what it was to grow up without a father. He knew what it was to give up the magical dreams of being a child. In his case, it was because he had to drop out of elementary school to enter the workforce and start contributing to his household. Like many poor Mexicans, he couldn't afford the luxury of a sheltered childhood. He used to say, "Going to school is the path to freedom. Freedom of the mind, freedom of the social chains, freedom of choice." Grandpa Indo was a rough old man. He didn't know how to say "I love you" or how to show affection. I can't remember ever being hugged by the old man. All I ever got were lectures and ass-whipping lessons. "I don't want you to get spoiled, mijo," he used to say to justify himself for all the unjustified and justified spankings I received from him.
The Mayans were better than any other civilization known to man, mijo. They were here almost 3,000 years before the Aztecs and the Tarascans.
I thought the Aztecs were great and the Tarascans even better, Grandpa. You said the Mayans were not warriors, I asked, confused.
Mijo, the Mayans didn't waste time learning how to fight. They spent their time for thousands of years developing. Listen to this, mijo. Inventing their own spoken and written language. They had schools where they taught and learned. Much like the modern scientists, they used the scientific method, said Grandpa. They didn't fight each other. They didn't try to invade and oppress others. The only thing they wanted to conquer was ignorance.
What kind of schools did they have, Grandpa? Did they have grouchy teachers like mine? I said, smiling, thinking of my teacher's behavior management strategies of ruler hitting, hair pulling, and embarrassing kids in front of their classmates. Grandpa Indo smiled. Well, I don't know what kind of discipline the Mayans teachers used. What I know is that they taught art, sculpture, painting, and other creative expression of the human mind, math, engineering, agriculture, medicine, and astronomy, among many other disciplines. They explored our world and the universe, finished my grandpa. Back to my story. While I love the idea of education, I also love the idea of learning how to be a great warrior. So I try to sharpen my fighting skills every time there was a chance. Like the time my cousin Lenin and I went to El Puente del Ahuate. We were horseplaying on the Rio del Ahuate in the no man's land area. When crossing that bridge, going over the river, we noticed kids from La Libertad, another tough neighborhood and a nemesis of El Ahuate. We knew something was about to happen.
"What's it going to be, punks?" said Stinky, the leader of their pack.
"What?" I said.
"What do you want to be, Stinky?" replied Lenin.
He never turned down a challenge. In fact, every time somebody challenged me, Lenin would volunteer to take that fight, saving me, as I was not ready, he used to say.
"Look, call me Stinky one more time and I'll kick your skinny ass all the way back to your barrio," said Stinky, staring Lenin down.
Lenin held the stare, tilted his head, smiled, walked really close to Stinky, sniffed him and said, "I'm sorry, Stinky. I promise not to call you Stinky again."
"Stinky, Stinky, Stinky!"
That did it. The fight broke off. Stinky was bigger, faster, stronger, and now he was on top of Lenin, pounding on him. I wanted to jump in, but Knifey, one of Stinky's friends, had just pulled out a knife and was standing by, making sure nobody interfered. I was petrified, scared, and felt powerless. In that frozen moment in time, I fixated my eyes on the blade. I was sweating. My temples started pounding, my nostrils dilating, and my muscles tensing. Much like a lion, well, not like a lion, more like a starving alley cat, I did it. I ran towards the enemy like a bull running to a red cape. I moved like a soccer player, walking back slightly, then rushing forward with the fury of thunder, like waiting to kick the ball to the other side of the field. Hell, not to the other side of the field. I wanted to kick the ball to the other side of the stadium. I landed the biggest, hit it over the field kick on Stinky's ribs. "Ouch!" screamed Stinky, bending over. It all happened so fast. I didn't know how it happened, but I was hanging on to Knifey's hand with my right hand and his knife with my left. I was hanging on to the knife as tight as a sinner is holding on to purgatory before he is kicked out to hell. I took the blade and threw it over the bridge. Suddenly, I was squaring off with Stinky. I don't know how. All I know is that everybody was fighting everybody. Dear reader, you may be wondering, what was I doing there when I was supposed to be doing my homework? But the last thing in my mind was homework. That's where I was supposed to be right now.
That's what I had told Grandma anyway. Grandpa wanted to review his history lesson of the Mayans, his people. What was I going to come up when I got home without having done my homework and looking all dirty and stinky and beat? It was easy. I always came up with something. Besides, my grandma always believed me. It was Grandpa who was stern and not open to my bullshit. Freeze the story. Oh my God, I'm dying here, I thought. Stinky had me in a headlock, and my face was deep into his armpit. I knew what foul smells were. My mind had to take a break. One of my house chores was to clean a pigsty. My grandma raised pigs and sold them, and I was in charge of cleaning the corral and feeding the pigs. I knew what reeking odors were. I could remember the time when Yin, a friend from El Varillero, another infamous neighborhood, approached me with an empty Coke bottle, holding the top closed with his thumb. I saw Yin almost a block away. He was smiling and giggling. In other words, he couldn't walk fast enough to share with me something important. Very, very important. Guess what I have in the bottle? Said Yin, smiling. He knew I was curious. He knew how to pull fast ones. He was a clever prankster. What is it? I don't see nothing in there, I probed, dying of curiosity. I knew Yin was setting me up for something. I just couldn't see his angle. My curiosity was more important. It's what we've been looking for. Grab the bottle. Thing is, you can see it only by peeking through the opening of the bottle. You have to be quick though. As soon as I take my thumb off the opening, you have to immediately look in the bottle. And I mean fast. Yin told me how to look for the invisible content inside the bottle. So Yin took his thumb off the Coke bottle, and I rushed to see what was in there. But lo and behold, out of the bottle came out the most nauseating smell, the most stomach-churning stench, the most sickening odor I'd ever smelled in my life. The most sickening odor I'd ever smelled in my life. Out of the bottle came out the smell of rotten cheese, a putrefied smell of a fart. Yin, the son of a goat, he had done it again. He had trapped a fart in an empty bottle, the most fetid fart in the history of farts, and had plotted and planned to bring it all the way to me. I fell for it. I inhaled Yin's fart. Back to my story. I knew what vile smells tasted like, and right now, my face was deep into Stinky's armpit. Up until this day, I think that Stinky's teen body odor took the gold medal of putrid smells. I almost passed out, not from the beating I was getting, but from being suffocated into the stinkiest armpit ever. "Break it up, assholes!" screamed a cop. Breaking up the fight, the kids started running in all directions. "Oh shit! I think I just stepped on... Oh shit!" screamed a cop, while running on the river bank, running after the neighborhood rascals. Anybody that had explored the banks of El Rio del Ahuate knew that piles of crap, turds, and otherwise unwanted human waste lay there like landmines ready for people to step on them. There was no rain this time of the year, so the river liquid flow was not clean water, but rather the drainage of hundreds of homes. The river also served as a place for desperate shit-takers to squat and do their business. So the riverbank, more than human leftovers, was more like a booby-trap field, ready for the next victim to step on shit. "Stop, assholes, stop!" screamed the fat cop, jumping over bushes and puddles of putrid substance of the river, stepping on crap, stopping and trying to clean it. "You'll pay for this, you little bastards! You'll pay for this!" The cops were on to these two gangs of kids, El Ahuate and La Libertad. The law-abiding business owners from the area had placed a formal complaint that the rowdy rascals affected their business. When asked by local activists if the business association would be willing to sponsor after-school programs or parks for the restless youth to go and release some energy, the business owners would say it's up to the parents to keep them busy.
soy, señores de Michoacán. Ya hasta los más salidones al mirarme muchos se van. Traigo mi cuerpo una silla que es de cuero, plata y marfil. Siento para que quede rendir, que viva mi tierra Michoacán y déme charanda para brindar, que Juan Colorado ya está aquí, montado en su cuaco en huracán. Cuando me encuentro resuelto que de frente quiera pelear, con mi pistola y machete por mi suerte yo he de ganar. Que viva mi tierra Michoacán y déme charanda para brindar, que Juan Colorado ya se va, montado en su cuenco en huracán.